all of these will look the same. A couple of them all have different things going on, programs on the side, but we're getting them so that they all look identical. So there won't be any confusion when you're doing it. But so Easy Share is the program, and you can double click on it or right click to open, and it will automatically open. So these are our people that we call. If you're having problems with visual or audio or something like that, this help desk is the global media help desk people, the people who run the program. They're super helpful. They're around all the time, and their phone numbers are here. And so they'll help you if they can't. If it seems like you got problems with not being able to turn the computer on, or like real local problems, the camera's not working or something like that, you can call our help desk and tell them it's affecting patient care so that they can come down and look at it. But it's the global media people are great with getting the program to work, and the sound and the visual picture.
All right, now this is kind of backing up, but is there one global power button, or do we just...
There is. It's usually always on. If it's not working, feel free to reboot it. And this is the computer.
Yep.
This is battery, so really
okay,
you can just unplug it from the wall, and here's the silence button. I hit the silence button when you unplug it. If you're moving it all the way and it starts beeping you, just hold it down for a minute or until it goes silent, because you hit it once like you do the first time, it won't carry over if it's already started beeping again.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't have to be plugged in when you take it into a patient room.
Okay.
You can if you can find a power source, but it's got a battery power, so it's good with that. And what they say is you want to put it at the foot of the bed, and then the doc will be able to see the patient, and they have...
And get the patient sitting way up.
Yep, and they have the ability to control the camera on their side as well. So you really shouldn't have to play with the camera, but if the doctor does say do something with the camera, here's the remote control for the camera, and it will do kind of repositioning the camera up and down and stuff like that.
Okay.
If you've got a small room and you can't get it all the way in and you need to turn the camera or something like that.
Okay.
But it's better to use the remote control than to use your hands.
Yeah, that's the sticker that says do not touch the camera.
Right. So the numbers, this one here, the Mayo Scottsdale, is our telestroke. So if you're there, if you call in that number or something like that, that'll get you the doctors who are stroke certified doctors. If you're just setting it up for a patient who's getting a neurology consult for like EEGs or seizures or something like that, and somebody asks you to get the card, typically it'll be this telemed. Will be the number to come. Yep, and these are numbers to call them.
So those are the numbers you call to get everything set up.
Yeah, and there are, and here's your cart. It's all of the good handy-dandy information in here. When you're doing a telemedicine conference, here's the things you want to do when you're going to call, is the, you want to fax like a consent in the face sheet to these numbers, because that'll give them permission. So here's the consent form.
Yep.
And then this is for the patients, just the rights of having a telemedicine consult. And the doctors who are, they're all, what's that word when they're allowed to work in our hospital?
Privileged.
Yes, they're all privileged to work at FMC. So really it's like having Dr. Weshi walk into your room and do a consult or something like that. And then here's what the ED order sets look like, and they're all online now too, the power plans and stuff. And then here's the consent for TPA, if they are a patient who meets TPA. And then here's kind of the PowerPoint slides that seem pertinent to getting it up and running, kind of who to call, to send your consents. Really the big thing is if we're taking a patient to CT, you want to make sure that when they put in the order that they put stroke alert, because all the CT techs know to automatically push that CT to radiology down at Mayo. So it kind of walks you through, here's the phone numbers to call and talk. And so just like any consult, you want to have the doctor call and initiate contact with the neurologist.
Physician contact.
And so it kind of just walks through the basic stuff for documentation. It talks about how, end of the bed, ideally 6 feet, but that's about the size of the bed. So that's all in here. More reference phone numbers. So these are the big things they want. Labs are good, they like to look at them, but really the biggest thing is the CT, because the thought with stroke care now is why didn't you give TPA, not why did you give TPA. So they're really trying to, if the patient doesn't look like they're having any kind of hemorrhagic bleed or anything, if we're in the window, we give them TPA and then we'll deal with it if it didn't need it, kind of thing. So these would be your phone numbers to send down, and That's really it. Once you get it in the room,
And the CT techs
they
know
know.
how to send that
Yep.
CT
That
and
they-
where to send it
Yep,
to.
they've been doing it for 2 years now, so they're really good at it. And in my audits of like the ED patients and stuff like that, CT is definitely not a hold-up area.
Okay.
That we're getting wet reads really quick, and we're getting
What
the
do you mean
results
by wet
finished.
reads?
Like just having the radiologist look at it and say, "Yep, there's no bleed."
Okay.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be dictated or documented in the computer.
They can just
Yep.
say no bleed.
Yep. And so really when you put it into the room, you put it at the end of the bed, and you let the patients know the doctor will be coming on the screen. Typically they like to have a nurse at the bedside when they're on so that you can help assist in the exam. Because we've been telling all the med-surg people too, don't worry about doing that Niss until after we get the CT on. Because really the neurologist from Mayo is going to do a Niss with the patient. So the nurse is going to help assist that. But we always tell them if you're like stepping out of the room or anything, like if somebody comes on the screen, go ahead and talk to them because they're there to see the patient and they're there to talk to the patient. But really, that's it. It's really quite nice.
The
Yep.
paper clips.
Paper clips are in there.
Safety
Yep.
pins are in there.
Information on TPAs in here if you need it.
Okay,
And then
maybe.
each stroke cart also has your Niss. And we have found through other hospitals saying, you know, when they're given, they have to do the Niss so frequently and everything like that, when they're giving TPA, that you use a dry erase marker on here and you just erase them, and it's easy to keep track of what your scores are to see if it's changing or improving. But each cart will have these. Each of the med-surg units will have them, and right now as we're moving forward with our designation, we're saying that 3 South and 2 East are our designated stroke areas, although 3 West gets a lot of stroke patients as well, and so they're getting all the information at the same time too. But if you want to see how it works, we can call the help desk if you want to see.
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
I just got a
Did you guys get a page for?
Yeah, but it's my wife. So.
Okay. So all you do is.
I'm gonna give her
Can I call her real quick?
yeah.
Sure. I can wait.
Actually, I'll do this.
This here is our office. If you wanted to test the equipment, you could always call us in the office. It's always good just to give us a heads up so somebody knows to be at the computer. But so the green is your phone to call. This is your speaker, so you want to have it somewhere that you can hear. And there's volume on here as well.
It's the like the British, the pink Floyd on the wall.
Right, yeah.
Click off.
Good morning. Can you hear us? No. See, it's crazy because I just tested this yesterday and it worked great. Hey Mike, it's Jeannie. How are you? So if something's coming up, you can collect that and they can remote in so they can talk. I know that in the ER when they've had problems with sound and everything right away, you know, you can call, you can do this help desk and all that kind of stuff too, but the doctors have all gotten really good about getting on the phone with you and just doing a phone conversation and being able to see the patients.
We can hear that. Who's handling the mouse?
He is, yep.
He is.
Yeah.
And where are these guys located?
They're down in Phoenix. Mm-hmm. So if you can't hear them, he used this little chat function there to communicate.
Okay.
Sounds good. Alright. Yeah, yesterday I was over at CRS, and they are hopefully going to start using their telemedicine cart for consults with children out on the reservation and stuff like that.
Cool.
And so I was showing the director, and I couldn't get the cart to work at all. Like the help desk just kept ringing and ringing and ringing. So I was upstairs on 3 West talking to him, and I was down here checking out this cart. I'm like, I don't know what's going on that car. I just can't call you. And we'd had the wrong help desk. We had their secondary phone number as the primary instead of so. And then the camera was off, and I'm just like, I swear I had every one of these carts like was talking to somebody yesterday. But it really is quite impressive when they come in and to be able to, because Mayo has said their commitment is once you contact the hotline, you'll get a phone call back from the Mayo physician within a minute.
Okay.
And then, so the doc's can have a conversation. And then start getting all the paperwork ready and everything, and carts in the rooms to see the patient, so. But, part of... Hi!
Clean that off.
It was clean. Thank you.
Sure.
Part of, the whole being a telestroke champion and helping out with the resources and stuff like that is you guys can PEP it. So if you're like practicing it or showing it or using any of your time and it's been PEP approved, so here's ones for both of you guys that you can take if you need to put signatures and anything, and then before we leave, I'll have you sign this. But are there any questions offhand that I haven't told you about that you want to know about?
I mean, it's just one of those.
Yeah. And really, it's okay to play with this. Like, come in and call periodically if you haven't seen it used or if you haven't done it in a while. Find any of the carts and feel free to go in and play with them a little bit.
Okay.
And we've been telling everybody, the more comfortable you are with some of these things, everybody feels better doing it, and it doesn't feel like it's such a big thing to try and do, so. Thank you guys. And I will email you the information about the Niss.
Yeah, cool, thanks.
Mark, have you done your Niss yet then, or do you want the information too? Okay.
I've been procrastinating.
Yeah.
The 4-hour computer.
I know. You know what I have learned, because I did it in increments, that you can start and stop and start and stop.
That's nice.
And so, like the first 2 hours of the video are basically showing you how to do the Niss. And, yeah. Hello? Oh, good, we can hear you now. Yep. Can you hear us?
Go ahead and say a couple lines for me, please.
How are you doing this morning?
Okay, no echo or anything like that. Do you hear an echo with me at all?
Nope, not at all.
All right. Picture looks good.
See how
Camera
you
control's
can
going.
control the camera there?
All right. I was running around in our other building. That's why I was on a laptop initially.
Oh, okay.
Laptop's be a little strange.
I was like, man, I was just in here yesterday trying to get these to work.
But yeah, this one looks good.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
All right, no problem. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Thanks.
Bye. And so they can hang up on either side, but if you wanted to be the one to hang up, this is your hang up button.
Okay.
And that'll disconnect the call.
So when we come in to play with it, just pretend that we're getting everything going, I'll just bring that up and
Yep.
basically hit call.
Yep, and you can
Or
leave it open. Yep.
We hit help desk.
Help desk, or if you want to call us, you can call us. Just let us know, and we'll
Okay.
somebody will get by a computer over there.
So
Should we call you first?
Yeah, you can call me,
Yeah.
and then probably call me or Pam first, because Ashley's got stuff going
Okay.
on. They moved her into managing bariatrics as well, so she's splitting. Once the stroke stuff gets done, she'll be spending a lot of time doing that. But yeah, call any of us, and we can get ready to log on or something like that.
Cool.
So thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.